to another video. Today we're going to be doing another city and town tour in Skyrim. And today we are just west of Whiterun here. As you can see it off in the foggy distance. And today's town we're going to visit is a custom modded town called Blackmoor. It's really cool. It's tucked away just past the fort here, up on the hill. Has some very cool architecture. So let's make our way over there now. This was part of a series of mods I tried to find in order to add variety and life to the plains of Whiterun, which I felt were lacking. I haven't spent much time in this town, so I think we're going to explore it together. So as you're coming in from adventure, the main road in and out leads right in front of the main town wall. As you know, the plains of Skyrim can be very deadly. There's giants and mammoths, and dragons, and bears, and wolves, and all sorts of magical creatures. So you need to have good protection if you're going to survive here. So, as you can see, there's an abandoned farmhouse, perhaps destroyed from an encounter with one such creature like a giant or a mammoth. And that's where the road dead ends, leading you to the stable, an abandoned farmhouse. You can see all the bundles of hay and wheat. It's harvest of you. Looks like a local hunter or soldier, or resting adventurer. Taking refuge and practicing his archery skills. This is Bremen's farmhouse.
I'm right behind you.
And there's Lydia. So now let's make our way into Blackmoor proper. So, as you can see, Blackmoor is centralized around this water well, which helps to provide life to the town.
I've got your back.
We've got a nice inn that we'll take a look at afterwards to relax and hold the travelers and adventurers. Across from the inn, there is Lucamir's house, which is one of the more prominent homes in the town. And then we have more home and what looks to be the local trader, Skog's store. So we'll head up through this hallway here and tunnel. The Blackmoor's common house. So it looks like the NPC spawns and respawns are a bit janky in the town because they just appear randomly. Here's the forge and blacksmith up on the second level here. Some very nice defenses. And it looks like there's a mine, perhaps on the side of the mountain there. We'll have to go maybe explore that. So as we get to the top of the mountain, or excuse me, the stairs here, you can kind of get a good impression of what the town actually looks like. And you see it's very well put together as far as the layout because he fits a lot, or she fits a lot of layers and dimensions into this tiny area. So this would take us normally to the Thane's Hall. And we're going to go in the proper way. So we'll head back down these stairs.
I've got your back.
We'll go past Lydia. Yeah, it looks like this guy's off to work at the mine. That's something I've always loved about this game is even though you're going about your day and doing things, other NPCs also seem to be going about their lives and doing things. Sometimes even to the extent that they will pick up items from forging or scavenging bodies, and if you loot the person that does that, they will actually have said item on their body. So here is the guard barracks, and what I would assume the jail resides in. Looks like maybe people hang out around the well after a hard day's work. We've got a chapel of Julianos, and then if we go around here, it takes us back to the front gate.
Everything's in order.
And back to more of the defenses.
How can I help a brother North?
Looks like there's also a small farm home that belongs to Novu, tucked away in the corner.
Hi there.
Perhaps Keld is Novu's child,
Staying safe, I hope.
enjoying a
Yes.
nice sweet loaf. We'll head into the temple of the chapel, see what that has to offer. This is very nice. Ooh, it's got an open roof. Looks like some custom books. That's a nice touch.
Yes?
Need something? Need something?
Kind of looks like a real Elder Scroll.
Yes, Saran?
So if we go down below, it looks like there is an area to cook and an area to rest and sleep and heal.
Yes?
And this is a nice touch.
What do you need?
That book is very well done.
What do you need?
So we'll head back out and further up through the town. But first I'm gonna get a drink of water.
Well, hello. Still here.
Need something?
Still here.
Yes.
I've got your back.
Need something?
I've got your back.
That was a good drink of water.
I'm right behind you.
Yes.
So we'll head up these stairs further into the town. And as we get to the top of the town, you see the beautiful, beautiful landscapes. And some of the other holds that this area is near. And you get a feel of why you might want to live in this town. So this is the House of Clan Icefist. And I actually don't know what this is, so this must be part of the story and the lore of the town. But it's quite warm for an Icefist clan. Looks like their hearth is burning away.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Looks like we weren't welcome yet. So last but certainly not least, it looks like this is the Thane's Hall. And this is a really beautiful structure. Looks like there's a very nice little exterior seating area and viewing area for the town and perhaps the direction of the defenses if they were to ever come under attack. We'll head inside and see what the Thane's Hall
I trust you're not planning
of
any trouble.
Blackmoor is.
What can I do for you, friend?
The strong shields. Thane Wilhelm Greymane. Well, this won't do. Mainly because I'm Wilhelm, and there can only be one. It's a fairly basic Thane's Hall. Let's see how the upstairs looks. Ooh, this is nice. Little balcony. Some good books. And then Thane's room. I like this balcony area though. Very well done. So it looks like this would be a town that would supply mining supplies to Whiterun. And just like the last town we toured, which was Ebenvale, this would be a supporting hold as well as a strategic defense for the people of Whiterun. It makes sense to have some stronger fortifications on each of your flanks of your city, and this is what you could consider the next stop if you were heading east from Iverstead. So we'll head into the inn and enjoy a drink with everybody now that it's the evening.
Heard they're reforming the Dagana.
The Greybeards have summoned the Dragonborn to High Hrothgar. Such a thing has not happened for
A quaint little tavern tucked away here in Blackmoor.
Take a look.
Looks like there might be a mystery here in Blackmoor
Good day.
to uncover. But we're gonna take a seat.
Today.
We'll see what's downstairs.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials.
Looks like a little secret meeting room. Perhaps private quarters. So we'll close that door.
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red.
And as we enjoy this lovely tune from whoever is playing the music right now in the corner, which she may actually be upstairs and oh, there's the stairs.
There once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead.
Oh no, maybe
This is
that
a
was
local
it.
favorite and one of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red.
I didn't actually see the bard. Oh, he's just
This
playing
is
every
an ode to
instrument.
Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. Sure. What can I do for you? Only true Imperials request
Can
that.
you take a break? That would be mean.
This is an ode to Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials. We drink to our youth.
So as we exit Blackmoor, I hope you enjoyed this town tour. I don't know how Lydia got out here before me, but
They say the college has been snooping around Sarthal.
looks like it's starting to get chilly and snow. So I need to make it back to Whiterun before it gets too dark and dangerous and cold. But I believe tomorrow our next stop is going to be the northern holes of Whiterun, or one of them which is called the Citadel. And we still have a few more locations around here, particularly Frostfalls, and then some of the areas to the east. And then we'll probably move on to a tour of the main hold, Whiterun. From there, I think we should move south to Falkreath, and so on and so forth. But until the next video, I hope you enjoyed this tour, and please check back, like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Please feel free to make requests in the comments for any video Hello again, and welcome back. I was just sitting here, enjoying the wind and the sky as the sun set in Skyrim. And we are going to do another town tour, which I think is becoming one of my favorite types of videos to film. They're very relaxing to make, and it allows me to look and enjoy locations that sometimes I either breeze by or don't get to appreciate to their fullest. This is a modded town, and I'm going to turn and see if you can see it, because it's pretty well hidden away. You can see a small building there, but I'll go on the map here and show you we are east of Falkreath and west of Helgen, and just next to the town of Pinewatch, which is another modded town we're going to look at soon. But today, the town we're looking at is ElvenWood. 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 And it is an older, modded town. And one of the things I like to do in my videos, if you've watched them, is not only talk about whatever the lore of the actual place is, but I tend to elaborate and use my imagination to insinuate and figure out how people might live or utilize the space in the grand region or climate of Skyrim. And this place in particular is a little interesting because on the ground level here, it is actually very close to a camp and a bandit hideout. And so I kind of have imagined this place as, you can see, we've got the Forest of Fletcher, which is not open right now, so we may have to wait. And then there's also Upper Pinewatch Mine. So the way I've kind of thought about this area, this space, is that Falkreath kind of runs off hunting, and I would say the common man's industry, as with the exception of the mills and the actual town, there's no real big establishments in the south. It doesn't have the College of Winterhold. It doesn't have any crazy capitals. And with the exception of bandits, the dangers are minimal in this area. So it allows individuals and people to have skills that otherwise would require lots of manpower. So the mine and the shops here, because they're out, tucked away in the forest, employ and sell to a variety of clientele, both hard-working hunter and forager, as well as the down-on-their-luck bandit, beggar, or citizen. Pine Watch has made a fairly good living of being a town that doesn't ask questions and has existed outside of the main roads, which requires a little bit of knowledge if you want to visit. We're going to take a rest here. So that we can actually go into some of these locations without them being closed. I think I said Pine Watch a moment ago. I meant to say ElvenWood. This is the town of ElvenWood. It sits next to Pine Watch. But ElvenWood, because it is a hub and congregation point for any and all in Skyrim, it has seen refugees and runaways from northern Bruma that managed to escape the mountains of northern Cyrodil into Skyrim. You can imagine if we had not been picked up, we may have stayed on our way out of Skyrim as the main character in ElvenWood. I made some hot chocolate today, as there's lots and lots and lots of snow. So, excuse me, you can see there's lots of stuff on the ground, but the main portion of ElvenWood is actually up in the trees here. And if you find a way up through the forest, there are some unique structures and layouts. I don't really know any other treehouse towns. This was done very early on and then has been ported over to Special Edition. But the first level here, as we enter, is home to none other than a local trader. I will try to pronounce the name. Aaron Dorian's General Goods, I believe is the name. And it more or less supplies hunters and foragers with various goods and necessities.
Take a look.
You can see he has quite a wide variety bows from all over the regions, swords from all over, and a fair amount of goods to supply whoever might be coming through.
Farewell.
It's a cute little shop. And it's all linked together by these wooden staircases that take you to different levels. You can see it's kind of a situation of if there's a bed or space for a bed, you can use it. And if you can believe it, they even have their own blacksmith
Make it quick.
and forge. I like to imagine this is kind of a place that elves can find refuge, similar to as you can see, some of the trees get in the way if you have crazy tree lines. ElvenWood, a Bosmer settlement. The treehouse settlement of ElvenWood, also known locally as Little Valenwood, rises high into the treetops in a wooded area in the eastern part of Falkreath Hold, between Falkreath and Helgen. It was constructed some time ago by Bosmer travelers coming to Skyrim who had been attracted to the rich forest areas within the Falkreath Hold. The wooded landscape here bore resemblance in many ways to their homeland of Valenwood, which lies to the southwest of Cyrodil, and so an idea was born amongst them to build a settlement here they could all call home, a tiny part of Valenwood placed into the land of Skyrim. Hence the settlement soon became known within the community of Falkreath and its surrounding areas as Little Valenwood. I believe only a handful of Bosmers remain in the settlement now, most having fled back to their homeland due to the current war situation. Such of the ElvenWood settlement has been built to rise up into the tops of the treetops in keeping with the similar style of many of the forest settlements in Valenwood. The Green Pact states that it is permissible for the Bosmer to use imported wood only when necessary, i.e. wood from other provinces, and they needed to find readily available materials locally for them to use for the settlement's construction. Thus, they made a decision to use the abundance of wood from the forests of the Falkreath Hold that stood presents all around them. Using any wood from the forests of Valenwood would, however, have been strictly prohibited. It is believed that almost no cities or towns within the province of Valenwood were actually built by the Bosmer themselves. Therefore, some believe that it wasn't the Bosmer immigrants themselves who built ElvenWood as such, or quite possibly that they were assisted in some extent. Upon approach to the settlement, you will find a Fletcher store situated in a short distance from the entrance. A small, dimly lit flight of stone steps leads down into a large cave area, where you will find out Ardriel, the Bosmer vendor of a fine range of bows and arrows, as well as various hunting goods tailored to the needs of travelers passing through the area. Many of Ardriel's bows and arrows are handmade on site. Upon actually entering the settlement itself, you can pay a visit to Ariandorian's General Goods, a small yet fascinating store that sells a variety of miscellaneous items, catering to the needs of passing by adventurers. Ariandorian's store is open for business every day between the hours of 8 and 6 p.m. After discovering both the Fletcher and the General Goods, you will ascend a flight of steps into the lower watchtower. From there, another flight of steps into Galmy's smithy. There are 2 wooden rope bridges leading from the smithy into the middle floor levels of the settlement. The left bridge will lead you onto the southeast tower into the hall, and the right takes you to the northwestern watchtower. The left bridge route takes you to the first entrance of the hall. Ooh, I'm getting sleepy. Where you can enter the central balcony immediately to the right. The central balcony is situated in the heart of the settlement, offering the most beautiful views around the treehouse complex. It is a peaceful and relaxing place to sit and read while listening to the sounds of the forest all around you. Entering the hall in the southeast tower, you will be presented with 3 exits in addition to the entrance to the balcony. Straight ahead, a bridge leads to the southeast watchtower with a view of the Elves' archery range and of all of the waterfall and the river to the south. To the right exit of the hall will lead you over a bridge to the Treetops Inn, which is open for business from 9 a.m. and midnight. The innkeeper, Denigor, a mild-mannered Bosmer who came from ElvenWood some years ago and who has lived in the Falkreath area also. The inn welcomes travelers and passing through the area, but as far as I'm aware, no overnight accommodations is available as such. There is an alchemy table at the corner of the inn. The third exit from the hall takes you to a perilous flight of steps up to the Sky Tower, which stands high above the treetops and was one of the tallest buildings in all of Skyrim. The Sky Tower residence was originally constructed for Bosmer chieftains who lived over here at the time when the settlement was built. Upon entering the tower and going up into the bedroom, you will see a door leading to the sky view balcony, which provides magnificent views westwards across the treetops of Falkreath towards the mountainous Hammerfell border. 2 flights of wooden steps then lead upward from the sky view balcony to a storage loft situated at the very top of the tower. While climbing these steps, you will get a sample view from the wonderful views over the forest to the right and towards the mountains to the Cyrodil border to the left. Also accessible from the sky view balcony is a small rooftop garden. You will need to step down at the end of the balcony where you cross a rope bridge leading straight to the rooftop garden. The garden has a small dining area. To the right, there is another bridge which leads to the treetops balcony, a small balcony overlooking the central area of the settlement. Again, a pleasant place to sit and read. Well, that was a small book. I need a drink. We will continue our tour. Here we've got our alchemy table. And here's the Treetop Inn. Let's take a peek at the inn.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm bed.
You can imagine relaxing here for an evening with your crew or your hunters after a job. You could even brew some potions to tend to any ailments or poisoning you may have succumbed to in the wilds. If we exit out the other door, able to see just how tall the settlement is. We have a few more loose beds that look to be owned. Looks like the smithy is hard at work. We continue on, as long as we don't fall off. Oh wow, you can even see some of the adornments of the hall here. All the skins and prized kills. If we continue up, you can see this is what they were talking about. I think we can afford the property. So we're going to go inside and take a peek at our new home. Oh wow, this is quite cute. Oh, this is very special. Scroll of mage light and oak flesh. So you have your own private potion and alchemy stations, which are really cool when they're built into the cabinets here. Very nice. You've got an area to put some books and a few chests to store your alchemy and potion making supplies. Please find on the table a key for the 2 Sky Tower storage loft safes. There's the key. So now we have a beautiful fireplace with, look at this little flower placed in the flower pot there. Such a nice little touch. It's a place to hang your bows and perhaps their hunting gear. This might be the perfect place to start basically tricking out and rigging up for a little hunter's forager's cottage. I've been trying to find a place to make a little cozy spot that we could do some alchemy and potion making videos, as well as some cooking. And I think this may be a nice little option for that. We've got a nice, pretty substantial little bed, a little strong box, and then if we open this door, we've got another little reading area, which would be perfect for reading books. And yeah, you can really see all the treetops. And then it said that there were a few chests up above in the perilous staircase. Storage loft tucked away in the trees up here. So we've got quite the storage cupboards and a few chests. And lock boxes. So that's just a perfect little addition, and I think this place might be, let's see, does it appear on the map? Got a nice little ivy and a garden. I think this is the rooftop garden. Or maybe it was a different structure. I think I missed a rooftop or two because of the trees. So let's try to find the rooftop we were just looking at. Can really see how peaceful it would be to relax here for a period of time. I think this is where we need to go. Is this the smithy? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we will go this way. How do we get to you? Here we go. Nope, that's the exact same place I just came from. Please don't make fun of me. It's the trees' faults. I might have to fake it and go back up to the top there.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
I've never actually had this issue finding stuff in a town. That's why Skyrim's such a great game. You can climb on all of the rooftops. Or maybe that's all I had to do. Yeah, we've got a little rooftop area up here. And then, yeah, another little area that's above the hall. A private little garden area surrounded by thick, thick trees.
What you're doing?
Got a couple little plants that we can harvest. And that looks to be about all of the secrets. We're going to head back to the ground level now. And we're going to go check out the store with the bows, and then we'll check out the mine. This was a little bit of an unorthodox video, as I didn't know it would be so hard to find that little corner. So that's the main town of ElvenWood. And you can see here is their practice archery range, which if you stand in the windows up there, you can practice firing to the targets. Sometimes the Jarl of Falkreath does come up here to take part in large hunting games. But other than that, this establishment and town, like the book said, are pretty isolated, or were to just the Bosmer. Look at this. So tucked away inside a very lush forest cave. Somewhere is our guy. He may not even be in here right now. Could be at the bar. I was kind of hoping to see what bows he had. And then our last stop today is going to be the glorious mine of ElvenWood. No, this is actually the Pine Watch mine. You go in anyway. You're getting a bonus tour. Like an iron ore mine. Well, that was more part of another town, which will be one we will doing a tour of very soon. So for now, I'm going to leave you with the sounds of the forest and the bandit slaughter that went on here. But I hope you enjoyed our tour of ElvenWood. Please check out my other town and city tours, as I've really enjoyed making them. see you in another video very soon. Take care, everybody. Hello, everyone. Today, we are doing another Skyrim Town Tour. Today's town tour is in a city tucked away in the thick forest of Falkreath. The town is called NorthKeep. And is centered around and in these old Nordic ruins. It is located northwest of Falkreath and southeast of Rorgstead, near Half Moon Mill. The main industry of the town is lumber
They say the college has
Furs.
been snooping around Sarthal.
and meats, as well as some particular unique herbs and hard to come by mountain spices. However, its primary role is to supply housing and goods for the lumber workers that live in and around the Falkreath Valley. The town uses a mix of new and old to make do. It has multiple levels.
Yes.
It reminds me of Dagana Alley from Harry Potter. The mod author's use of both custom and
Fear not.
vanilla assets
Dragon or giant will be
makes
ready.
this a very interesting mod in town. We will go back to the entrance.
Yes.
And begin our tour.
Could it be? Turn of the Dragonborn?
But as you can see, there's lots of hidden paths and alleyways. So this is the doorway we came in. And this would take us north. If we wanted to go to Falkreath, we'd head out that road there and weave through the mountains. But if you were entering for the first time, this would be towards the center of the town.
Need something?
We have an armor and weapon dealer.
Yes?
And then directly behind us, we will come back to it. But we have the town inn.
Yes? Yeah. Need something?
Moving along, we have the alleyway in between the inn and our home. Every inch of the town is used. You can see there's a centralized well that the villagers get their fresh water from. This is Wireless Manor, which I believe may even be a home for the player. In the heart of NorthKeep. And if you look here, we've got a trader. The Sweet Cold Store.
Something?
Give a holler if you have any questions.
A nice, cool stone room to do some trading in. Looks like she has some trophies on the wall, perhaps from her own hunts.
I've got your back.
Need something?
The trade between Falkreath and the river towns, and even Whiterun, would all be common customers for this town. Moving towards the back of the town, there is a small mock stable for horses of special purpose. This is the keeper's farmhouse, a local citizen of NorthKeep. And then across from the farmhouse, we have the alchemist's shop, tucked away.
Yes?
Fiend's concoctions. Potions, ingredients,
I've got your back.
feathers, roots, mushrooms, all sorts of forest foraging
I'm right behind you.
ingredients and items.
Still here. Still here.
It's even said that on rare occasion members of the College of Winterhold will send traders and or apprentices all the way to NorthKeep for some of the rare ingredients this shop has to offer.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
We will walk between the trader and the alchemist. To the staircase that will take us up first, we will take a peek at what may be the only person who sells food and ale in the town square. We have an area for staging, perhaps repairing furniture and or taking it apart for repurposing. And then next to the trader we have a shrine of light. There's the trader again. And this is House of Clan Half-Hand, which looks to be
Lost?
a custom
How can I
clan
assist?
and or house here. This may be part of a quest here in the town,
How can I assist?
but a nice little cozy area.
Yes?
I'm right behind you.
Well, we need to get out of here. Looks like they have quite the horde here.
Still here.
Need something?
You can see there are a lot of little buildings tucked away.
Yes?
This is our final building on the first floor, which is Starren's house, which we will be locked out of. If we walk up the stairs here to the second level, you'll see some of the cool balconies and walkways. This is Godrul's house. We can oversee the back road into town from here, and perhaps enjoy the sky, or the trees, or the stars in Skyrim. We will head back down the stairs
Still
here.
here.
And up to the graveyard, memorials, and shrines. This is the arcade house.
Yes.
This would be where they would perform burial rites. And
behind you.
So perhaps this looks like one of the older structures here in the town. This could have been one of the first places built. Maybe even built over the original entrance to the Draugr and Nordic ruins. If we move north from the shrine, you can see that there is a exterior flaying and skinning house that would allow anybody hunting to the forests in the west and any of the cottages that surround this town and village to bring their hunts in and skin them fresh
His voice
for anybody looking
shouted him
for
apart.
trade. The western wall is one of the more prominent ancient ruins. The town's blacksmith has taken up shop here and does his best to repair and maintain the hunter's equipment. The town's metal needs,
Hail, summoner. Conjure me up
and
a
occasionally he goes out to the western mountains and acquires ore or leather or materials he may need. NorthKeep is not a rich town. They're a town of working people. Every once in a while, the lumber mills will invite him out to work on the mill blades and even to Falkreath. Sometimes he travels.
Are there wolves on the road up north?
From here in this tower, the guards could watch and signal any guards or citizens below of incoming travelers or dangers of the road.
Still here.
NorthKeep would also play a vital role in keeping watch for the dragons and giving word to Falkreath when needed. Continuing on, we will take a look at the front defense, an old Nordic wall. Perhaps this was an old Nordic ruin,
Got to thinking.
fortress,
Beyond the dragon board.
village,
Just don't know it yet.
or spiritual center ground. And the remnants were the perfect refuge for the early citizens of NorthKeep. One of our final buildings would be the Thane's Hall, located above the barracks in the town.
Yes?
Lady Alessa Caro is the Thane,
Hmm?
and her housecarl, Antonius.
Huh?
Need something?
It is a modest hall. It's cozy. It allows for intimate settings, for business to get done without the ornate distractions of some of Skyrim's larger holds. You can see all of the impressive trophies that are on display. And if we go upstairs, you can see that it is a very modest and industrious hold. The basement, which
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim.
is also
The fellow who wrote that cookbook.
perhaps looks like they have quite a hoard locked up. And then it looks like they have revamped the Nordic ruins into quite an expansive hold, which looks to be able to hold many guests if need be. We will exit.
Watch the skies, traveler.
And our last stop will be to the inn. It's getting late here in the town. And everybody is either asleep, or it sounds like they're all inside the inn.
Yeah, something?
Hi. What do you need?
Need something?
I fear the night, because the werewolves and vampires don't. Yeah?
Need something?
You couldn't
Nicely
possibly
laid
be a
out.
Dragonborn legend, could you?
Bar and inn. There is a second story that has a small upstairs meeting area, as well as a few bedrooms for travelers or hunters. Several of the more prominent hunters in NorthKeep offer hunting excursions and training for people in the cities who do not have that luxury. As you can see, NorthKeep is a relatively self-contained and isolated city. They keep to themselves, but they have everything you need to be happy tucked away in the deep forest. We're going to head towards Falkreath and continue on our travels. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was relaxing. And do check out NorthKeep. It is a great modded town. And a great little stop if you are a hunter, gatherer, coffins? Yeah. Coffins, possibly from a dragon attack, or going up for burials in the House of Arcane there. Looks like we're coming up on a remnants of a battle. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until the next tour or video you watch, I'm well, and thank you for tuning to my channel. Hello again, and welcome to another Skyrim Town Tour video. This is a new town to my playthrough, and took me a while to actually find the mod. We're here in the northwestern plains of Whiterun. And we are just north of the town of Blackmoor, which we've toured before. And I just fought off a dragon and my horse and I were traveling north here, and I figured we'd make a stop and finish off the towns in the northern plains. The townspeople and I had quite the fight. So sitting on top of an old rocky outcropping and built within the ruins of a Nordic possible temple or altar, we find this town here, the town of Old Granite Hall. Old Granite Hall. And it's the sister city to our town to the very southwest, Granite Hall. So this town sits just before the Citadel and northeast of Blackmoor and directly north of the Imperial Outpost and Fort Greymore. As we begin to walk up, we see and hear the sounds of the town. The blacksmith hammering away. The farmers tilling to the wheat. The wind blowing in the trees. We'll take a quick walk through the town's road before we begin our tour. The architecture is a mix similar to Whiterun in some of the river towns, but mixed in with Nordic ruins. When the dragons reawoke in Skyrim, this was one of the first places to take notice, as there were burials of draugrs in the rubble that stirred. The town's guards were quick to dispatch. But nonetheless, the townsfolk were scared. Now hired mercenaries patrol and guard the small village. As it is tucked between many ancient Nordic ruins and backs up to the frozen north and the mountains of Morthal. The citadel to the north is the immediate beacon of aid in the event of a dragon attack. But luckily, the villagers can take refuge within the stone. As you can see, it provides a wonderful view of the plains of Whiterun. You can see very far west. Let's make our way back down and we'll begin our tour. One of the things I like to do in these videos is imagine and try to figure out what kind of life would be like living in the town. Fortunately, looks like she's stuck on that rock. Exiting the open gate and watch post, we are greeted with our first building, a farm home whose small wheat garden has a very pristine gate. As we walk up the stone stairs, I'm gonna have to turn up the settings so I can read it. This is the house of Ferald and Lolodi, and it looks like we can go visit them. The interior of their home is cozy and warm. the Lodi enjoys a warm loaf of bread, while Ferold tends to the soup in the pot and the meat cooking on the fire. Their hearth has an old Nordic sculpture built into it, and their home features artwork from all over. You could imagine the small amount of wheat that they produce could be sold to some of the breweries or some of the local towns close to close to Granite Hall. Blackmoor and the Citadel all would require that for their horses, as well as their stores. So while they do not have a large farm, their farm is able to sell all that they grow and therefore sustain the happy couple. As you can see, there's makeshift wooden and stone walls and minimal fences to try to keep out wildlife, but the town is relatively open to any and all. As we approach our next business, we see their home of Ariald and Gisela, or Gelsa. Gelsa is a shield maiden.
I'm telling you, I heard it, howling. Those werewolf tales are true.
Yeah?
Ariald is a blacksmith. One trained on the battlefield, the other trained in the forge. And now they have set up shop along the roads. This small blacksmith shop handles not only orders from the Citadel.
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? And who among us could possibly hold that honor and such power?
But also supplies, adventurers, hunters, and wild men of the plains. As being in such a remote location, it would allow those individuals not to make a long journey back to a major hold to repair their armor, swords, or to procure more arrows. There are some very pretty trees and natural features. A small stable in case of weather. And as we pass under the gate, we see one of the guards. These mercenaries are individuals from around Skyrim who cannot find work or employment in any other guild or profession. Sometimes outcast, sometimes widows and widowers. These are often some of the most hardened Nordic and Skyrim citizens. As we approach what I would guess is the town inn, we hear no music. There is no one sitting outside. Hearth of Stone Inn seems very, very empty.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
Seems they only have maybe one or two guests here.
Our hero claims a warrior's heart. I tell you, the dragon... Sure. What can I do for you? Good day.
She was going to sing her heart out. Can see it's a very simple inn. And with the rare exception of a royal hunting trip, the inn probably only caters to the adventurer and hunter in the plains, as well as those traveling to and from without a place to stay. As we look on and above, you see just how tall the city is built. And as we make our way back down towards the city center, we see the town well. If we go to the right, we see Bernarda's house.
You lost?
Bernarda has a very small home, but it is very warm, with her large fire going all the time. We should probably leave her be, as it looks like she's sitting down for dinner. Across from her home, we have the local trader. Mountainside Treasures.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. I've got a water jug here.
It's time for you to go.
Sorry, sometimes my mouth gets dry. This looks like a very small, but very cleanly shop. And living quarters.
Yes, take a look.
Looks like she's got all the basics, as well as any basic armor that you might require in the field. We'll pick up
All right then.
some things she has to offer and continue on. If you turn immediately to your right and head under the other archway, there is a little watch post that overlooks the roads to ensure safe passage. It's not far from here, giant camps and mammoths and all sorts of wild creatures stalk the area around the city. There is one more structure situated slightly further out from the town. The Warriors' Hall. The Warriors' Hall.
You lost?
Yeah.
Can only imagine that these are the guards of the town. The captain's quarters. It's beginning to be nighttime, and we're just going to do a loop around the far outside exterior. Looks like they have a chopping block situated with a gorgeous view and a small little fire.
Need something?
Or local guards patrol the streets. And if we go inside this large archway, you can see some of the old ruins close up. It was when the dragons rose from within this archway and the rubble that the Draugrs rose. Luckily, the warriors at the time were able to deal with them as they came out of the ground. More Nordic faces and ruins litter the architecture of the town. And as we begin to make our way up the staircase, we can see the little details of the fire and the cauldrons, the smoke coming out of the chimney tops, and now the stars are even visible in the sky. Can kind of see a better top-down view of the town.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote the cookbook.
And even at night, life is bustling here. Seems everybody is headed towards the inn in town for a meal and a cup of mead. We will go in to our last building, the House of Clan Rockbiter. Very small entryway. This looks to be the closest thing to a Jarl, as there is a throne here. Imagine this town kind of being run like a clan or a guild, as it is so small. We'll head back down to the inn and see if it's any more lively tonight.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Take a seat by the fire and
Looks
I'll
like
send
it's
someone.
We drink to our
nice and
youth,
busy.
to the days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done. Need something? Mm-hmm.
Yes? Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Until next time.
Well, I was going to sign off, but it's quite loud here. That's why I normally turn the voice down.
Skyrim's staunch protectors, the Imperials.
She's making her politics very well known with her music. Well, with that being said, I think we've toured everything in the town. And I hope you check this mod out. It's available on the Nexus. You just may have to search for it. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I hope I was able to help you relax. If you enjoyed the video, check out the other videos and playlists where I do town tours and take you through the locations of Skyrim. If you would be so kind to subscribe, I'm trying to make it to 100 subscribers this month. I'd appreciate any comments or requests for videos you'd like to see. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Skyrim Town Tour video. It's been a few days since I've recorded one of these, so I'm a bit rusty. And my dog is snoring in the background. So, put some headphones on. Enjoy my voice and enjoy the sights and sounds of Skyrim today. The town we are looking at today is from our series of towns that are over the border in Skyrim. So we are just over the southern west border into Cyrodil. And today's town is called Kwarech. Kwarech. And we will also be visiting the fort Kwarech that is attached to the town. This town sits in a semi-frigid, lush jungle or forest. As it is a little lower than some of the other mountainous villages near Skyrim. As you can see, if you wanted to head to Bruma or beyond, this might be your route. Or if you were headed to Folkstead or Falkreath or further north into Skyrim, this would be your spot. It's not a big town boasts several tinier cottages, but its main purpose is to allow villagers, travelers, soldiers, and more safe passage between Cyrodil and Skyrim. I hope you all are doing well today. My nose is a little stuffed up. But other than that, I've had a good couple of weeks. I've been on the road with work. And honestly, I've been watching and catching up on some TV. I've been re-watching The Lord of the Rings and The Umbrella Academy. As you can see, there's even some small little passage and riverway allowing for some basic fishing. I always enjoyed the lanterns in Skyrim. For whatever reason, they were one of my favorite features of wandering the roads. If this is your first video, welcome. We normally try to take a little wander through the main street. And we listen to the wind. And we listen to my voice. And we listen to the footsteps. And as we exit the small little town here, we get to the edge of the game, and we get to the fort, which we will come back to. If we turn around, we can see a small little village. And we will wander back up to the front of the town and begin our little tour. This is part of a series of Beyond Borders mods that had many, many towns, areas, and places of interest over the border of Skyrim. So as we wander back up, we can see what I would call the grandfather tree of the village. A very large and very old sprawling tree. And next to it, we see all sorts of beautiful forest flowers and foliage. As we hop over a dead tree, we wander up to the small river stream that runs and flows fresh river and mountain water to the villagers here. Minimal clearing of the forest looks to have been done, as it seems most of the structures were built with fallen or local timber. Some fresh lavender, and mountain flowers sprinkle all over the ground and surrounding areas. The town well, which is most likely supplied very shallowly by the local river and stream. Across from the well, we already saw that there was a small chopping block for firewood. And we get to our first little home. Pretty common farm structure. This is our next house. It doesn't appear to be outdoors, so we'll have a peek inside and see if he's there. Looks like he's drying, or she, some herbs above the fire. I wonder if you can hear my little dog snoring. He's a little chihuahua, and he tucks himself in, but he snores like an old man. I hope it sounds cute and not gross or disgusting. So, as we wander, we see that there's a fairly substantial stockpile of firewood, as it is a beautiful day today, but I imagine the mountainside here and the winds headed north could get quite cold, and some of the storms that brew in the mountains here probably have violent winds and weather patterns. Looks to be some butterflies enjoying the farm. That's actually the most butterflies I've seen in one place in quite a while. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 butterflies at least. This is Elysius, and he is a farmer here. Good day. May I ask you a question, Elysius?
Hello. Yes, you may. Elysius is the name.
I'm going to turn down the voice volume just a bit.
Goodbye.
We're going to turn it down a bit more.
Farewell.
May I ask you a
Hello.
question?
Yes, you may. Elysius is the name.
Do you suffer from the effects of the civil war in Skyrim?
No, not really. This area is quite secured by the guards near the border and the forts south of this little town. Hardly any Nord comes in or out, you see.
I see.
But on the other hand, there are many Nords or descendants from Nords living here. My wife, for example, she worries about the situation in Skyrim. Farewell.
Well, thank you, Elysius. And I'm actually going to take a picture of you with all your butterflies. He appears to have cabbage and potatoes, all very hearty, important staples in a mountain town. Across the way, we get back to our little river and pond here. They've got a small fishing and dock set up. As there does appear to be a passage that maybe leads you into the mountain underwater. But that is not a path we're privy to at the moment, or that we have been able to discover. But across from the farm, we see this man enjoying a drink and probably a glorious view of the road. You can see here, this gentleman could sit on his dock or his porch and see all that was going on in the town here. His name is Naro. Doesn't appear to have much to say to us. But then again, you don't really need much to say if you're enjoying a view like this every day. As we wander around, we probably won't go into Naro's farm. But we will take a wander across the street to the last townhouse in the village. With a nice little chair and an even higher view of the village than Naro. Could really see this would be a pristine mountain town to live in. This is Gwenda's shop. Gwenda's shop.
What do you need?
Well, apparently we will need nothing. We don't seem to be able to buy anything. Maybe she's closed. As we make our way south out of town, we truly leave Skyrim behind. And we get to the first large Imperial fort. We have to watch ourselves as tensions are tough here, so we must respect the members of the fort, regardless of our ideology. We all know how nasty Imperial prisons can be now. As we make our way to the fort gates, there are several guards, making sure the entrance is safely watched. There's pretty standard exterior needs. A place to put your horse, a nice warm fire for the guards to congregate by, and under the watch of some very tall Imperial parapets and towers, the fort protects every person that stays within. If we exit, I will show you truly the exit and end of my game world. We've modded the Steam Deck as much as we can. Now we could literally walk all over there, but it would take a very long time. But let's go back and act as if we were going into Skyrim for the first time from Cyrodil. You could imagine entering the fort similar to how you do when you begin the Beyond Skyrim Bruma mod. And you have to convince or bribe your way through the Imperial checkpoint. You can see the Imperial flag. And as we walk inside, we see the training ground for the troops and recruits. You can see this fort is much older than some. We see all of the details. We've got the moss and ivy growing and eating inside the crevices of all the rocks. More guards protect the upper watchtower. Sir Eric, is that huge tower over there?
Yes, citizen. That's the Imperial Palace, center of the Imperial City. You can already watch it from here. Amazing structure, isn't it?
It's marvelous.
Yes, I know. Beautiful to watch that tower in the sunsets. That palace is still the center of Cyrodil, and still the center of Tamriel. Cheers.
We will have to go look for it. I do not see it. He says we can see the tower. I don't see it. He might be lying to us. Well, he claims we can see the Imperial Tower. But perhaps our LOD is just too small. I was trying to see if we could get inside this structure here, but it doesn't appear we can, which is kind of odd. I know lots of the content was not fully fleshed out in some of these mods. I don't see an Imperial Tower. I think we were lied to by the guard. It's probably to get people to come and stay here. As I would expect it to be over there somewhere. Well, that's a little disappointing. But the last location, which I forgot to stop at, the little windmill here. I always found the sounds of the windmill very relaxing, so I think I will leave you to enjoy them as we conclude this video. The sound of the stone and the wood always would put me to sleep. I hope you enjoyed this town tour of Kwarech, which is just south of Falkreath. And if you watched our last video, southeast of Folkstead, check out these modded towns. And if you enjoyed this video, please check out my channel and some of my other Skyrim Town Tour videos, as we've got lots of ASMR, modded tours, as well as ASMR content. And if this video helped you to relax, please subscribe if you are not already, and let me know down below whether you enjoyed taking a tour over the borders in Skyrim. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next tour video. Hello again, and welcome back. Today, we're doing another video in Skyrim. We're going to be taking a tour of a town. It's called Frostfalls. It's located just south of what begins the frigid tundra of Skyrim, and is the furthest south hold of Dawnstar. Technically, it is closer to Whiterun than Dawnstar. However, it's very strategic, both in trade and in value, to both Whiterun and Dawnstar. This is a modded town with a player home. We will be touring everything except the player home today, because I do not have access to it. So Frostfalls sits on the road north out of Whiterun. It is a farming settlement and trading hub for goods on their way north and from goods making their way south. This would be perhaps your first stop of safety if you are traveling from Dawnstar. So to see these stone horses would be a refreshing sight. So the entrance has two beautiful horse statues. With an ancient Nord rider and guards make sure passerbyers and visitors are safe. There are beautiful flowers and even some butterflies greeting us on our way in. Frostfalls has a custom manor. And a set of antlers greeting us at their front gate, which is always open, signifying the lax fortifications and trade center nature of this settlement. All the buildings and structures are centered around this road loop and central fountain. This allows carts and horse-drawn carriages to be able to pull through the town and pick up whatever goods might be on their list of items to procure. The front gate has two towers and a wooden walkway in case any wild attacks or creatures assaulted the front. Basic defenses could be put in place to deny entry into the farm settlement. There is a substantial stable both for cows and for horses. This would allow any traveling, injured, or tired horses to rest and get maintained without having to worry about the elements. There is a chopping block and significant stores of firewood to keep people warm and to keep the hearths fed in the town. Perhaps These are goods that are for some of the larger orders on hold, waiting to supply the town and settlements of Dawnstar with fresh tomatoes, potatoes, cabbage, apples, and herbs. These items would be important as the frigid temperatures in the northern coast would deny farmers the ability to farm these items in a plentiful harvest. Putting emphasis on the importance of Dawnstar maintaining a southern hold like this, and the importance of keeping a relationship with Whiterun to aid in the defense if needed. Another tower to aid in the defense and to act as an outlook. There's a farmer's house. Glorious's farm. I think we can say that this might be his farm, and what a grand farm it is. There are lots of potatoes. Looks like leeks. And cabbage. And wheat. It seems a lot of the goods around here may be coming from this farm. He's got several scarecrows scattered about. There's even this gorgeous windmill. It's got 2 more horse statues. And even a working mill. You could make various types of flour for making bread, which would be another vital resource in the frigid north. Moving on from the mill, we have another tower that also, in the bottom, acts as a henhouse for our chickens. So, there are lots and lots of chickens to produce the eggs we need to make the bread and dishes. We can also use the eggs as a source of protein that doesn't go bad immediately. The views from this town were very, very epic. tucked away in the valley here, just right. Next to the farm, we have some more livestock. These cute cows. They're so cute with their little eyes. We have to be careful though. They're easy dragon targets.
I've got your back.
The dragons love a fresh meal. Before we move to the rest of the town, let's take a minute to enjoy this fountain. You could imagine, after hard days at work, washing your face off with some fresh water. Perhaps sitting at these benches and watching the carts go in and out. We will take a brief look at the main building, which would act as the longhouse, inn, and center for anything going on in the city. If you were a traveler and needed to stay the evening, if you were a thane and you needed to come here on business, if you were a trader looking to sell your goods, this
You
would be
couldn't
where
possibly
you
be
would
the
go.
Dragonborn of legend, could you?
We need to open this back up, but it costs $40,000, which we do not have in gold right now. There's lots of little balconies and pathways. This is another garden that you can even plant various things. Potatoes, tomatoes, leeks, anything you'd like, you can plant. Over out on the exterior of the home, you have quite an extensive blacksmith and forge. These resources and tools and armor and weapons would not only be vital for running a farm and trade hub, but also allow the blacksmith to provide good ore and weaponry to the north. The abundance of furs and ores in the south of Skyrim, plus the approximation to the Skyforge, would mean the best blacksmiths and craftsmen around would be able to work here. We have a lockhouse that stores perhaps some more valuable armor and goods. And then we have a forge. And then another tower bees. This is where we harvest our honey. And honey is a valuable resource that we can trade to the honey brew meadery and send mead and ale to the north, as well as it has many vital properties, both antiseptic, medicinal, etc. It's a good thing to have on hand. So with that being said, we will take one final gander at the town here. But Frostfall is a gorgeous little town. I've only seen the interior of this building online, but the interior of the main keep is well worth it. And this is a little town that you can literally run yourself. So if you're looking to set up home in Skyrim and you want to be somewhere centrally located, this is not a bad spot to choose. I'm going to continue on my adventures, but I hope you enjoyed this video and found it relaxing. Check back for more town and city tours. In one of the next videos, we will be touring Whiterun, the main city in this hold. But stay tuned for that, and if you enjoyed this video, share it, like it, and comment if it helped you relax. Take care, everyone, and have a good day. Hello. I hope you're doing well today. We are back doing another Skyrim Town Tour. I was enjoying this beautiful view of the mountains here. And I'm gonna do a new style of video soon where we do some quests and some adventures. But I'm pre-recording and doing some voiceovers for that right now. But in the meantime, I wanted to do a quick tour of one of the towns that will be appearing first thing in one of those videos. So, this is part of a much larger expansion
I've got your back.
that really changes
Still here.
and could change the way you play Skyrim.
I'm right behind you.
So, I'm going to
I've got your back. I'm right behind you.
ask Lydia
As you wish, my thing.
to stay here on the docks we're gonna take a few steps up here to get a better look at the town we will go into in a moment. And I'll show you the boat that I arrived here on. The location here can only be accessed by large vessels and fearless sailors. The town sits on the North Bay, and it is called Dagana Landing. And before I leave the map here, I just want to show you how large just a portion of this expansion is. This is well beyond a TLC-sized expansion, and even the map continues beyond the seeable map here, as there are several islands, including Barbarella, that you can visit and are essentially miniature regions, maybe 1/3 the size of this map. This whole expansion is part of the map of Shumer and the quest lines in there. There are several iterations of the quest and mod, so if you look up Shumer on the Nexus, you will see a variety of accompanying mods.
Making yourself useful, I see.
But today, we're here in the small village of Dagana, and we will start our tour like most people entering through the dock. When I first visited the town, there were only a few inhabitants that greeted me, and if you look into the people, this town really is full of people who like to keep to themselves. There doesn't appear to be any guards or active defenses. Just a small village tucked away inside the forest. Like always, we'll take a quick walk through the town, and then I will begin with a proper tour.
Making yourself useful, I see.
Don't let size fool you.
Good day to you, stranger.
This town has quite a few
Thank you, stranger.
hardy inhabitants. The cozy log cabins create a very inviting touch. And the mod author has done a pretty good job with laying out the little villages and corners. This is a player home, Dagana Lodge, that you can purchase for only 500 coins. And so, if you were doing this quest as one of the first, you could see that you would have many options. To start your home and life here as a fisherman, a sailor, a trader, or perhaps even the dreaded pirate, excuse me, not pilot. The small bay here can fit several mid to large size ships, and the smaller vessels are free to dock themselves on the beach at will, like we can see here. Let's make our way back to the central part of town and begin our little tour. I adjusted my controller input in Steam when I use an Xbox controller to film these videos, as it was faster, and hopefully this will be a little more smooth and dynamic and visually pleasing on your eyes and relaxation. So we're here on the main street on a cobblestone path that runs from south to north. And to our right, there's a structure that pretty much has a tree built out of it, growing in it. Landing stores, which I believe is the only cellar here. A nice little cozy building. It seems we might be interrupting a private conversation. And we just came in to admire his wares. There's some good looking art on the wall. Looks like a Nord in front of maybe a structure or guarding the road. So across the road here, there is the stable that is modestly sized for the size of the village, and many of the travelers or messengers from the south of Shumer who may make their way up to the north little landing here would often need a place for their horse to rest. The first building you'd probably check in if you came by boat would be this structure here, which is currently locked, but is the dock office. Normally, there is a representative sitting and waiting and tending to the docks. But today, it appears to be self-serving. We're going to come back that way in just a few minutes. But we're going to take a peek around the back side of the story here. Just to have a little peek at the farm and the fence that they built. There are some more unique and exotic types of foliage, as well as plant life here in Shumer that differs from Skyrim. The forest is very dense and thick here, as are the mountains. And it reminds me a lot of Skyrim in the south, near Falkreath. It seems there's gourds, as well as a variety of other planted vegetables and herbs. Continuing on, if we head further south, you can see the road that would lead you out of town. Who knows what adventures lie there? And if we take a left and head east, we come back around to the back of the stable. And we're met with the more residential area. This town has a few residents, one of them being Duada, who is gracefully letting us into her home. Hopefully without becoming angry or aggressive. You can see she appears to have quite a cozy little cottage here on the ocean side. She's got quite the haul of food, which means she's either a very good hunter and gatherer, or she trades and makes enough to feed herself very well all alone here. This is Lil, who I have not met prior to this tour. There are some gorgeous tapestries, as well as some ornate shields and trophies scattered about. And then I saw this when we walked in, but this is quite nice, this design. If I'm not mistaken, it's the snake eating its tail. Or in this case, perhaps a dragon. Let's continue on our tour. I hope you are enjoying it and you are relaxing. Maybe you have some earphones. Maybe you're just listening to this on your cell phone or tablet or computer. But whatever you're listening on, I appreciate you watching. We will come back in just a moment to the player home there. And we'll take a peek here. This is the Fisherman's Lodge, which I have not been inside yet. It appears to have a nice custom rowboat and dock that would allow you to wake up early and immediately jump in your boat to go fish in the wee hours. You can imagine yourself after a hard day or enjoying a meal sitting at this table and watching the forest or the ocean. You've got a couple of fish nets as well, and drying racks. Ooh, you can see the forest is so lively and rich that even the elk wander very closely. So this is the player home, you can acquire. And it's very cozy, but I really like the deck out front. It's got the 2 chairs. It's got a really nice view. You kind of see the whole town. And then you've got this really nice bench with a fur on it. You can imagine reading a book or watching the clouds go by here. But this is just such a cozy little area. And then just immediately to the right, you do have your own personal stable for your horse in Shumer. Let's go ahead and open the door. You can see it's a very cozy little personal hut. And it's not really meant to be extremely crazy or ornate. You've got some very basic amenities, weapon stands, some trophies, perhaps from the previous owner, a dresser for some clothes. The wooden floor is very cool in the entrance here. That's very pretty. You can see you've got your dining table and area. And I thought this was very cool, the cooking pot here, or the stove. You've got some shelves to put all your found items, as well as a post box here. You've got a cupboard, and I did think these were kind of nice, these little custom statues. Kind of unique. And then, if you turn around, there's a couple of stairs we have to go down. And then you have more of the practical aspects of the house. So we've got a pickaxe and a tanning rack and a grindstone, an armor workbench, and then these are custom labeled chests. So you can kind of sort all your items. The next room has a bed, a dresser, a little reading area, another bed, some gorgeous artwork of what looks to be Whiterun. Maybe? No, that's not Whiterun. That's gotta be one of the cities here in Shumer. There's lots of books about the lore of Shumer. There's some custom weapons and armor and shields, which are very nice. I like the display over the bed here of the 5 or 6 different shields you can find. I wonder if these are the holds and or the factions in the island. This is kind of ominous, but a cool picture nonetheless. Got quite the little book here. Somebody was doing some research on a staff, it looks like. But that's about it in the player home here. If we head out the door back into the main town, looks like the sun is starting to set. The Dagana Lodge is looking cozy, tucked in the forest here. We'll make our way to the opposite side of town and finish out the tour. I hope everybody's having a good 2025 so far. Really enjoying making these videos for everybody. And it seems that lots of people from all around are enjoying them as well. And that's very special. ASMR has helped me relax for a long time now. And if I can do the same for other people, that just brings a warm feeling to my heart. So across from the main road, if you were to head west through the forest, we get to our final structure. A tiny little fishing cottage tucked away up against the mountain and right on the edge of the pine forest here. This is Capitaniana's Tiana's quarters, which are also unlocked to us. We've got Samus and Nadan.
You're in error, traveler. Tread carefully here.
Looks like they're visiting.
Stay out of trouble, traveler. We're watching you.
They've got some food on their stove. Some fresh cheese and meats. It looks like there's a downstairs as well. There's some communal bunking and dining areas. And this looks to be the home of the crew of one of the ships in dock. They've got quite a selection of beers and wines here, perhaps acquired and dealt with from their trading. Now the sun is fully set. You can appreciate the fog. Oh. And now the rain. We're getting all the seasons here. Take a walk to the end of this dock, because I'd like to show you just the exterior, because I'll probably do a tour of this boat. But this is a boat home. That is quite large. I imagine in some of the larger harbors in Skyrim, ships like this would be quite common. But if you were trading or transporting or things long distances, this would be an ideal boat. It's large enough for people to live on it. It's not at sea. Do a quick walk just in the entrance. And yes, I believe the home that we're just in is the land base of the crew of this vessel. See, there's quite a lot of detail and little touches in this mod and in this home. See some very unique and stylized placed items. Some of the armor might be missing as I've pillaged some of the unique sets. favorite sounds in the game is the sound of a storm outside. You're listening to the rain on the roof of the building you're in. There's some storage areas. And then if you go below deck, which I won't go fully, there are the crew quarters and some of the supporting roles and structures that people might need, such as the alchemy, enchanting table. But the model, they're just outdid themselves on this one. I'm gonna walk back up here and have a seat at maybe this bench right here. And just wanted to say thanks for watching this tour. If I helped you relax at all, please feel free to like, comment, share, and interact with everybody on this channel. This was a Skyrim Town Tour of Dagana Landing. And if you liked the style or are interested in exploring the adventures that we have in Shumer, I will link the video, if it's out, where we do our first episode of the playthrough of this mod. And in the meantime, check out my Skyrim Town Tour video playlist with lots of ASMR, town tours of modded content. I hope you all are asleep now and or relaxed. This is my character Wilhelm, and I'm Will. I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Welcome back. You may hear my little dog snoring in the background. I want to wish you a very happy and prosperous 2025. Wherever you're listening from, I hope 2025 brings you better and sustained happiness. And maybe that's done by watching ASMR videos. Maybe that's done by playing Skyrim. Or in our case, both. So today, we're doing another Town and Tour Village walkthrough. This little village is tucked away high up in the mountains from Falkreath. I saw that shadow. I knew it must be a dragon. He must be looking at our horse. I've been traveling through the mountains between Skyrim and Cyrodil, as I have several mods that extend the borders and locations outside of Skyrim. This is a very small town. I think it's the smallest town we've ever toured. But I liked the design and the look and the feel of the town. And so I figured to give it its own special little video would only be right. So it consists of only really 4 or 3 little buildings. It's built inside these old Nordic ruins, possibly once inhabited by Draugrs. And you can see it's built into the side of the mountain. And even from just the cliff's edge, you can see so much of Skyrim. You can see all the clouds and the storm fronts to the north coastal regions. You can see all the trees, all the pine trees, all the oak trees, all the spruce trees. You can see all the plains and the hills and all the mountains from up here. And that's one of the reasons I liked this mod so much. So let's go back up. And allow me to introduce you to the town of Sungoth, I believe is how you pronounce it. Excuse me. Sungoth. Sungoth. The town of Sungoth. Here's Falkreath. Here's Oakwood. There's Helgen. Sungoth. And if you download this mod, it does come with a few NPCs as well as some quests. The NPCs' voices are AI generated, but they do a fair job. You can enter the ruins by the stone staircase here. There's a shrine of Talos that greets travelers and stands overwatch of all the townspeople. There's a villager here who has a town of her, or a home of her own. But I think she must be very warm-blooded. Or she's going to a concert, because girls don't get cold at concerts, no matter the weather. But this looks like a very chilling outfit. So if you look over the balcony here, you can see again a glorious view, this time enhanced by some candlelight. It's beautiful to stand up here at night and watch the stars. I'm going to turn on the hood just a little bit. Our first structure is called the Hanged Man Inn. And this is pretty much the main business and industry in the town, other than the Hall of the Dead and the magician that lives here. Tucked away up in the mountains, you can imagine it would be a very peaceful and tranquil place to practice magic or to come meditate and contemplate as a mage or alchemist, as well as any naturalist or conjurer looking to create potions would find a variety of rare and valuable mountainous goods and items for crafting brews. But after a long, hard hike, hunt, forage, or adventure, the Hanged Man's Inn would probably be your first stop.
I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
It is built inside an ancient Nordic structure, and they have done their best to rehabilitate the common rooms, as well as the private rooms to accommodate. I thought some of the faces and sculptures on the walls were a particularly nice touch. This is the main entryway, and then we have the houses or the beds to the left. Beautiful banner. And then to the right is the common space and tavern. Again, some very cool faces. And you can see it would be a very cozy and close-knit space with the fire and all of the guests. Some of these NPCs will be possible quest givers, and then I thought this lantern hanging from the face was also a very cool touch. So exiting the local inn, if you were here on magic business from the College of Winterhold, your first stop of the new day would probably be the trader and potion seller in town, located below on the lower balcony. Which would be very cold, less wind, but has a beautiful archway that you can look through. There are two structures. There's the Hall of the Dead to the right, and to the left we find the Clever Man's Cauldron. Sorry, I have the hood turned down so much. It's hard to see. Hard to see. This cozy little conjurer's shack has not only various rare items and trinkets from across the mountains, but also an alchemy lab, and even some space to host guests. The owner, Alberlin Foxhide, runs a fairly substantially sought after market of tundra and high altitude goods. The College of Winterhold regularly sends apprentice mages on the journey south to stop at various places of worship, of interest, and or of the procurement of rare goods for the college. You will see some of these items make their way many miles north to the frozen Iceland. Leaving the magic shop, we continue over to the other primary reason this establishment exists: the Hall of the Dead. holds some of Falkreath holds most honored warriors, townspeople, and royalty. A single priestess, Wendella, manages and keeps holy the halls of the dead. These spaces are held for those who have ancient Nordic blood and have ties to Falkreath, while most of the corpses and burials are from individuals local to Skyrim. The genes and lineage of Falkreath have ended up in many corners, and preparing the bodies of received members is one of the primary roles of the priestess, as well as performing rituals. We honor her by respecting the whole. Going back outside, if we turn to our right and we head back up, we will get to our last building, which we may not even be able to enter, as it is a private residence of one of the only residents of the city. This quaint little shack, looking south towards the mountains of Cyrodil and northwestern Bruma. There's a small little house, Halwrin's house, and Halwrind was the lady standing outside in literally no clothes moments ago. She must have headed towards her concert, or she froze and is now an ice cube. We see the Shrine of Talos is honored here in the town regularly. I'm going to shut off the hood to take a screenshot. And I'm going to take a look at the town from the cliff edge. If we make our way to the edge of the rock, we can not only enjoy the glorious view of Skyrim and the glorious skybox, we can see the storm clouds rolling in from the west. And if we look back towards the town, we can see the archway and the strong winds that batter the ruins and run down the mountain and hit the village of Falkreath below. That's what keeps the valley so cool keeps the forest thick. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this little town tour. I figured I'll go in and do a little more in-depth of reviews and tours of the buildings as much as I can on these smaller estates and towns, as some of the mod authors put a lot of work and effort into the narrative and the thought behind a lot of the placement of things, and I think it's worth pointing out without making the video too crazy long. But with that, I hope you all are relaxed and feel free to check out the playlist of many more Skyrim Town Tours on my channel, ASMR Steam Deck. I have a few other types of videos that you might enjoy, and if you like